Hello, my name is Brian Tracy, and I'm a professional speaker and management consultant. And I want to introduce you to my good friend, Linus Okori.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Dr. Linus Okorie.
To this great evening, owning your stage, your ability to be able to own your stage and speak with power and influence. One of the major things that I've always told those who like to speak is the fact that everyone that wants to speak, that wants to make a difference, that has a message for a generation, that has a particular thoughts or ideas in his or her mind that he wants to actually show the world in, is first thing first is to having the ability to own your mind. You can't own your stage if you have not been able to own your mind. 50% of public speaking actually is the power to own your mind. In fact, throughout the years that I've operated in this terrain of speaking in power and influence, I've only noticed that there's something called mind power for public speaking. Mind power for public speaking is your ability to be able to own your mind, your ability to be able to be confident, so confident that there is nothing called impossibility in that mindset. It means that every stage you appear on, it's your responsibility to own that stage, command the room, and get the people to follow you. So one of the greatest danger that is facing our world today is the fact that several individuals, they have a lot to say, but they are afraid to actually step up their game and then get the job done. They are afraid to speak in public. A couple of years ago, I had a very, very interesting gentleman walk into my office. This gentleman has been very successful, of course, in the oil and gas industry. The young man in the oil and gas industry has become such a very successful man in terms of finance. He was rich, or he's rich as the case may be. But one day, his church voted him the best husband of the year. And of course, the best father of the year. And what was he expected to do? He was expected to address the church and teach other fathers on how to be a great father, and also teach other husbands on how to become great husbands. And so the moment he was given that responsibility, the man could not sleep anymore. The man was afraid of failure. He was afraid because he has never spoken to such an audience before. He has never spoken to such a group before. He was so afraid that somebody had to recommend that he should go to talk to me. And this gentleman got into my office, his heart beating. First of all, I had to do some good job in calming his nerves down. And then after all, he wanted an exclusive session, just one-on-one with him, where I would just spend quality time with him and then share with him some of the secrets of speaking power and influence. Of course, we signed the contract. Of course, he was able to make his payments. And guess what? After 6 solid sessions, it will interest you to know that this gentleman became such a powerful speaker. Why? What did he do differently? All I needed to do was to share with him, first of all, 4 secrets on how to penetrate any audience you can ever imagine. 4 secrets on how to be able to climb on any stage and just get into the audience. And the audience is going to love you if you understand the 4 secrets of what I'm talking to you about. Because every room you walk into is a stage. The question is, are you in control? What must you do to be in control? Are there certain things that you must do to take control of the room? Because one of the things that you need to know is that the moment you walk into a room, there will be several individuals whose eyes are going to be on you. They are going to make you uneasy. A lot of people, you have bullies in those rooms. You have individuals who are ready to laugh at you. So it's not just going to be what you say, it's going to be how you make them feel. So the audience connects first with your energy before they process your words. So therefore, I taught him these 4 secrets, and I said to him that the first thing you do, and I told him that you can use any of these secrets and it's going to work for you. So assuming that you come into in front of an audience and everyone is ready to listen to you, it doesn't matter yet what you have to say. So they just introduce you and you walk on that stage. The first thing you should do, I taught him that, is number 1, is the concept that I want to share with you now. So assuming that I just start a statement, I've just been introduced and I walk into that stage. That stage is mine. I own the stage. And I walk in there and I said, and the next thing I said, 25 years ago, my grandfather said to me that if I will become very successful in this life, that I will do 3 things. 25 years after, I have become very successful by doing those 3 things my father told me. Today, I want to share those 3 things with you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Can somebody in the audience tell me what I have just done? What have I done? What have I done? What secrets have I revealed to you right now? Can somebody type in something and tell me what secret? What secret did I share with you? What would you call it? Absolutely. It's called the power of storytelling. A well-told story has the power to move hearts, inspire action, and make your message unforgettable. Storytelling is the name of the game. How do you package your story? President Obama was a master storyteller. My grandmother this, my grandfather that. I was born in this, I was born in that. Everybody has a story. Every individual listening to me today, you have a story. There is a story that is in your heart, in your experience on how you grew up. The story of poverty, from poverty to wealth. The story of all sorts, even the story on even your lecturer, what your lecturer did to you that you'll never forget, right? Or the story about how you lacked food in the house and you had to drink Gary. It could be a startup story that could blow any audience away. So the power of storytelling is a beautiful way. So you must master the storytelling in such a very powerful way. So what do? Tell stories. Tell plenty of stories. Storytelling, that is the way to go. Every audience is going to be, they will open their mouth. Story. People love story. So they want to say, what exactly happened? Who did you meet? Oh my God, Wow. And by the time you know what is happening, you have already penetrated the audience. You have already started talking to them. Your confidence will build up in that process. Storytelling. And I just want you to, when you are developing your story must be connected with the subject matter of what you are speaking about. Don't come and tell stories that do not connect. So if you're talking about fashion, your storytelling must be around fashion. If you're talking about success, your storytelling might be from how you failed before, right? So the whole idea basically is that you must learn how to generate your own story. I have always, many times you hear me say something like, I was 19 years old. Once you hear me say the line, I was 19 years old and a college student of the university, that 19-year-old story has always become a big hook anywhere I've gone to speak, and I wanted the people to know how far I've come from. Look, from 19 years old, I started Godney as an institution. And imagine if I'm going to go ask for funding. I want somebody to fund my leadership activity. And I walk into that room and I simply say, 31 years ago, I had the greatest honor of meeting with a gentleman called Mr. Gamaliel on Nosode. Why did I meet with him in the first place? I went to share my vision of raising leaders for Nigeria. It's been 31 years after. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm talking to you right now, we have just acquired 5 hectares of land to build a leadership university that will be the first university in the whole of West African region. And I have come in here today to let you know that we cannot do this alone. We will do it together. And that's why, as an institution that is responsible for building the next generation of leaders in the continent of Africa, there's no other organization that we can come to than yours for collaboration and partnership. Do you see this? Now it is, you see how you just go, you just take the story and they will know that what would that story do? The story has simply said, hey, wait a minute, this guy has been here for quite some time. This guy has paid his price. He has paid his dues. This guy has been here for 31 years. Okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy has, he means it. This guy has delayed gratification. This guy has sacrificed. All of this story will, and then so credibility, and then people will do what? People will simply support it. So storytelling is the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is, so imagine if I have been introduced to speak in a big audience, and I just come on stage, and the next thing once they introduce me and I step on that stage and I simply say, it was Abraham Lincoln who said, I do not care about who my grandfather was. I only care about who his grandson is going to become. We have made mistakes as a nation. But I want to say to each person sitting in this room that we must forgive ourselves for the past mistakes that we have made. We must begin to look into the future and see the possibilities of how we can rebuild our great country and make our country work. This country deserves more. This country deserves a lot more than we have given it. I invite each and every one of you to join me in the process of building a nation that works not just for me, not just for my children, but for all of us. Who can tell me what I've just done? What have I done now? What other secret have I revealed to you? Absolutely. Oh my God, I have a very smart audience here. It is called the power of quotes. If you are watching today and you do not have a quote, a book on quotes, you do not have a very powerful book that is filled with quotes, because the power of quote is so powerful that the moment you come in and you face an audience and you say something like President Mandela said, everybody wants to hear what Mandela said. My father said, my grandfather said, my mother said, my lecturer said, and my pastor said. And everyone wants to hear, what did he say? Lee Kuan Yew said. So you are quoting somebody. First thing first is that you come in with that authority. Authority to quote somebody else gives you respect. People respect you. People want to hear what that quote is all about. And once you say that, what happens? You quickly penetrate the audience. The audience will give you attention. The audience will give you the required attention you deserve. And so that is very, very important. We must understand that is the power of quote is very good. So the other secret that is important here that I'd like to share with you specifically is that imagine if I walk into a room after I've been introduced and I simply say, is there anybody in this room today that would like to make a difference? The world is looking for those who can count. The world is looking for those who can make a difference. The world is looking for those who can leave a legacy. My question is, how many of us are ready to make a difference in our great country? How many of us are ready to leave a legacy? How many of us are ready? So, can somebody tell me what I have just done? What have I done? It is the power of questions. Absolutely, it's the power of questions. I remember some time ago I was addressing a very powerful audience, and I simply said, I wanted to be very exact with my word. I said, how many of you seated in this room, you have ever been to California? As I made that statement, many people raised their hands. And then somebody's telling me, my uncle lives in Houston, Texas. What is my uncle lives in Houston, Texas? And somebody is also trying to find a lie, to associate, to connect with what I was trying to say. The next person says that I have been to New York. I didn't ask you whether you have been to New York. I said, how many of you have been to California? Because I wanted to talk about entertainment. I wanted to talk about the power of entertainment. I wanted to talk about the power of the economy of California as relates to how California has built, its economy so powerfully that it's even, bigger than most nation states you can ever imagine. That was the angle I was coming from. But the moment I asked that question, I knew that people want identification. People want to start, then they'll start telling all kinds of lies. At the end of the day, once they were thinking of what to say, I had already moved in. So my speech had already started. The power question. And the last one, and that is very powerful, is the beautiful one that will simply say, imagine if I say that I just come into a room after I've been introduced and I say something like, do you know that over 60% of young people who finish their National Youth Service in Nigeria do not actually have jobs? The moment I say that, what have I done? What I have simply done is called the power of data and statistics. So, the truth of the matter is that somebody will be thinking, is he correct with that statistics? Somebody is going to be thinking, where did he get it from? Somebody will be thinking, this man is very intelligent. So you see that there will be different, but they have forgotten about you. Nobody's interested in you. They are just interested in what you have been able to reel out. And by the time all this is happening, guess what? You have already penetrated them. I mean, Peter Obi, if you remember, during the election, he used the power of data to his advantage several times. The power of data. It puts authority on you. It shows that you have done your homework. It shows that you know what you're saying. Yeah? How can somebody come on stage and says, I don't actually know about how many people are even in this country? How many? Do you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like data, statistics. If you equip yourself with that, then you can make a good entry. So at the end of the day, any of these secrets I've shared with you can help you gain that stage, own that stage. That stage will be yours. And let me say this to you. Every time that you have a stage and there's no pulpit, or there's nothing called what do you call it? That you don't have any aid to enable you speak on or something. Every time you come on stage and that stage is bare, the whole of that stage belongs to you. And your job as a speaker must be to maximize the space. A lot of people do not have the capacity to maximize the space, and so guess what? They miss the point. And then you can go and stay in one place, and then you're standing as if you're a soldier. Are you a soldier? That's not how to own your stage. You have to move from one end of the stage to another, and you have to communicate in style. And so that these things are very, very important in public speaking. So the next 4 critical elements of public speaking, and I think is very important, is something concept called clarity. What's your main message? If you can't summarize it in one sentence, it's not clear. What is your message? The clarity of your message. Every speaker that wants to speak must have what we call a message. The person who receives the message is actually the listener. But the speaker who comes with a message must have the soundness of mind. The soundness of mind means that the leader or the speaker is sane. When you listen to a speaker that is not comported or does not learn how to comport himself, that is not clear enough, the speaker will not know how to build a systematic speech. That's a speech that will flow from one input to a great output. So what does that mean? Clarity. So you know what you want to say. You know what you want to say is important. The other one is the concept of structure. Structure. People spend time in planning for their speeches. So what do? They build a structure like you're building a house. What is going to be my intro? How do I step in? What are the first thing I'm going to say? If I finish saying that, how do I build my point? Number 1 point, number 2 point, number 3 point, number 4 points, right? So every great speech has a beginning. That's the hook. The middle story, that's the insight, and the end, a call to action. So at the end of the day, when you are done, for instance, okay, let me give you a clear example. So somebody in wants to request for some loan from a friend, and you have asked your friend to give you about an hour, just for you two guys to have a meeting or something. So you start your meeting, and the first thing you want to say, first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you especially for all of the support that you have given me all these years. I'm really very grateful. You recall that just about a few weeks ago, I had mentioned to you that I'm about to start a new business. For all these years, I've been busy with research about this business and how this business would work. And at the end of the day, my business plan is ready. And so, since my business plan is ready, I have also been able to raise so amounts to be able to make sure that this business kickstarts. And all I'm requesting for is that you raise so amount to support the work that I've done. And I would also want to thank you again because you have always been there for me. At the end of the day, the message is clear. You have first of all thanked him. And then you have also shown him that, oh, look, you appreciate his support. And then you have also reminded him of what you have told him before. And then you have also come with a prayer, specific prayer, and straight to the point. Oh my God. In fact, if you know where I'm coming from right now is huge, is big, is outstanding. I have just gone to make a pitch. It took me about how many minutes? About 15 minutes to make that pitch to a very outstanding global figure who is such a great mind and who is such a booster to what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, my call for action was so strong that at the end of the day, it was, let's make it happen. It was, let's make it happen. In fact, it was a yes. If you make a presentation and you can't win results, it means that it wasn't clear. The message wasn't clear. It means that you haven't built structure. And the third one, which is very important, it means that you are not authentic. Authenticity is very important. Don't perform. Connect. Speak from real experiences. Speak from your heart. Don't come and be speaking like an American when you have just gone to stay in Malaysia. It doesn't make sense. You don't sound authentic. There's a need to be original. When you speak from the heart, every speech must come from the heart. And then your delivery mastery. That's where the use of voice modulation, gestures, and stage movement and presence to keep the people engaged. This is very powerful. The ability to be able to keep the people engaged. Your delivery. This country is going through a very challenging time, but I believe that despite of all the challenges this country is going through, we will do everything in our power to make sure that this country would work. Our generation must resolve that this country must work. It is our responsibility to make sure that this country works. This great country works. Do you see? So sometimes you repeat things several times. It's like a Martin Luther King Jr. coming with his own, I have a dream that one day, I have a dream that one day, I have a dream. Do you see? So you engage the people. So your voice is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be straight. Your voice is supposed to be this way, like this way. It goes this way, it goes up, it goes down. I want you to take it like you have a lot of people in front of you. It's your responsibility to play and be real and present something that the people will never forget. Don't perform, connect. So great delivery cannot save weak content. Oh my God. A powerful message starts with solid preparation. So let's talk about content. They invite you to come and make a speech. The subject matter you do not know about. You don't know about the subject matter. You've not studied the subject matter, and you come up and the first word that comes out of your mouth is actually. Actually. Say actually. Actually. No way. No way. Immediately you are totally thrown out. No. That's why we talk about content. Content is king. Discipline in preparation is critical in public speaking. Research your content. The ability to research your content is so powerful. It's so powerful, ladies and gentlemen, that if you understand that there's a body of knowledge on every single thing on the earth, there's a body of knowledge on being the best, there's a body of knowledge on smiling, there's a body of knowledge on science and technology, there's a body of knowledge on IT, there's a body of knowledge on leadership, there's a body of knowledge on every single thing. One of the most important things I'd like you to do is to be able at every point in time master your content. When you start challenging yourself to start reading one book in a week, and you do that for every week, I tell you the truth. Do you know that in 1 year, you must have read 52 books? And so if you have read so many books, do you know that you can actually do something significant? Imagine if you decide to, jumpstart a speech. I used to have a boss called Professor Patutomi those days. Professor Patutomi was such a very powerful speaker. What made him powerful was that he knew in his heart so many qualities, many books, many authors, many titles of books, the concept of books. He knew them. They were easy stuff to come by. And so he would say something like, and then he was connected to very powerful people around the world. Imagine him starting a speech. So just last week, I flew in with the Minister for Finance of Singapore, and as we got into New York, and we were thinking about certain things that were developing in the continent of Africa, and he was providing some context to the conversation, and so we decided to stop over at the bookshop in New York at New York Airport. I mean, as we move into the bookshop, the first book that we saw was a concept, a book called simply called Culture Matters. Culture Matters. And then he will mention the author, and then he will talk about the first three concepts in that book. And that is a speech. His speech has started developing some strength. By the time you know what is happening, he has come to a powerful end. That's what public speaking is all about. Research your audience. Know their fears, desires, and expectations. Rehearse smartly, speak out loud, record yourself, refine your delivery. In fact, if I give you the secret of public speaking and you don't understand the discipline of public speaking, forget it. You won't be able to speak with power and influence. You won't own that stage until you master the act of discipline. Discipline in what? Master your transitions. A smooth flow between points makes you sound polished. So your confidence on stage is built off stage, not on stage. That was what I did many years. I remember those days, my roommate would be sleeping and I'll wake up from sleep and then I'll be speaking to the open sky. I'll be speaking powerfully. I'll be making my speeches, speeches of the president of the student union government when I've not been elected yet. I've been making speeches of my welcome speech, my first inaugural speech as a student union government president. I was delivering these speeches even while I had not been elected. And my roommate said, Linus, you are disturbing me every morning with your speeches. I will make speeches every day by myself. Up to today, I still make speeches climbing staircases. But you know what has happened? One day, that my roommate was in my leadership class. Oh, he said, Linus, if I knew I would have followed you. I would have joined you in this secret. Today, I would have become as great as you are in public speaking. I just got laughing. So this is very important. And then the concept of time management in public speaking is very important. And so most of the time, I normally would tell people that never get on stage to speak anywhere without planning your timing. You must allocate minutes per section, intro, main content, conclusion. In fact, if you are given 20 minutes to speak, I want you to be able to speak for at least 15 minutes. Speak for 15 minutes, but never speak for 30 minutes. Never speak for 40 minutes. The worst you can do to yourself is while you are speaking, they are bringing notes upon notes to you. They are bringing notes. Note 1, note 2, note 3, note 4. And sometimes they will switch off the microphone while you are still speaking. It's total disrespect. So plan your timing, allocate minutes. In fact, you must practice within time. If you can't fit into the time given to you, you're not ready. So watch your pacing. Sometimes nervous speakers rush. Confident speakers control the flow. Sometimes you slow down. Sometimes you go on a fast pace. It's choice. So a great speech is not about saying everything, but saying the right things. Build your confidence. That's the first thing first. And one of the things I normally tell people is that once you build your confidence, you will realize that you don't need to say several things. Exceeding the time allocated to you as a public speaker kills credibility. Your confidence is what gives. I can never forget. Do you know that if you don't know how to manage time effectively, do you know that you can actually go to speak somewhere and they have given you a particular amount of time to speak, maybe 1 hour, and then you go there because of the way they have managed their time, they do no longer have time and they ask you to speak for 20 minutes. If you have not been able to go in and out of your speeches, given a different time frame, how would you be able to manage that situation? You to be a flop. I recall the time when I was invited to speak at a very powerful political, dinner. I was requested to. It was a women political meeting, and I was invited to be a keynote speaker for leadership in that meeting. And I was initially given 30 minutes. 30 minutes to speak. By the time I had come to the event and was already sitting, they came to me and said, "Sorry, that I was going to be speaking for 15 minutes." When I went on stage, I was about to speak. They whispered into my ears that, "So sorry that I have only 5 minutes left." 5 minutes left. What would you have expected me to do? I had mastered the utilization of my time because the subject matter was already in my control. And so what did I do? I spoke for 4.5 minutes and set the audience on fire. In fact, the vice president of the country, then Vice President Osinbajo, actually, gave me a good handshake. Said, "This is very, very powerful speech." And the vice president of Liberia did the same thing. The whole hall was filled with people, but I spoke in 4.5 minutes and I delivered the message. The most important thing was that the message was delivered, the points were made, and then I added color to the entire system. That's the power of owning your stage. You can't own your stage where you don't have content. You can't own your stage when you don't have capacity to deliver. You can't own your stage when you're not original. So I want you to know, stop letting your voice go unheard. Mastery takes deeper training. Mastering takes what? Deeper training. Opportunities are slipping through your fingers because you haven't mastered the art of commanding attention. So you hesitate, you fumble, or you fail to make the impact you know you're capable of. Enough is what? Enough. Mastery takes deep, strategic, and practical training. Is there anybody in this room that you want to train yourself to be one of the best speakers in the world? Can I hear you? Put something down there. Say, put fire there. Say, "I want to train myself to be one of the best ever speakers you can ever imagine." Is there anybody there who wants to do it? Do it now. You want to speak with power and influence. You want to speak with great confidence. You want to speak and the world will come to you. Do you know that it is through public speaking that you can gain so much influence, that you can gain access, you can gain attention, you can gain. Listen, what public speaking has done for me is unbelievable. Just few days ago, 3 days ago, I had an opportunity to speak in one of the retreats of a state government. I mean, the entire commissioners were in the room. The entire leaders of the state were in that particular room. And I handled that microphone for 1 hour. The place was set on fire. That everybody wanted a copy of my book. They were rushing for the book. They were blown away. And I said to yourself that if you go and speak in a room and you don't set that place on fire, in the heart of people, the heart of people are not burning. There's no growth in the heart of the people. People are not seeking growth. People are not hungry to be more. You are failed. So if you want to train yourself to be the best speaker ever, then it is your responsibility to make the investment necessary. I have spent over 30 years in public speaking, delivered 3,000 plus keynote speeches across the globe, and shared stage with the best in the industry, from John Maxwell to Brian Tracy to some of the biggest names that you know. I know what it takes to own the room. Now I want to pass this power on to you. Are you ready? Are you ready to take it? Type it in the comment that you are ready. I want to see enough fire in your bones. Speak with confidence, clarity, and conviction anytime, anywhere. Imagine being able to do so. Imagine being able to destroy stage fright and anxiety. Just imagine it. Imagine that you're delivering speeches that demand attention and leave lasting impact. Imagine that you nail impromptu speeches like a pro. Like, imagine when you go for that birthday party and they just say to you, my friend, give a vote of thanks. I know somebody who they said to give a vote of thanks, and that person took that vote of thanks to a vote of shame. And he was a deputy director in a government agency, and everybody was laughing at this individual. What? So you must begin to understand that it's important to turn your story into influence, because stories sell. Handle mid-year interviews and difficult conversations like a master, like a professional. Oh, who is ready to go into a room with me for 2 days? Who is ready to step into a room with me for 2 days? Because you need to know that Rome wasn't built in a day, but your transformation can start right now. Are you ready to step up? Take control. Own your voice. Join me. Let's make you unstoppable. So right here, here's the deal. Here is the deal. Here is the deal. Here is the deal. Here is the deal. So what do I want to do? So what I'm offering you right now, anybody who is in this room, is that I have only about 30 seats available physically for a 2-day that I'm going to have those who are hungry enough to be in that room. Hungry enough to be in that room. Hungry enough to be in that room. So what am I doing? I changed my mind. I'm saying that for those of you, it looks like I feel your hunger. And right now, I feel like I want to be able to do something significant that can change your life right now. So 25th to the 26th of this month, we're going to be hosting about 30 people, maximum 40 people in the room. And the price has already gone for 500,000 naira. But initially, they had planned a 20% discount, but I'm using my authority right now to change it. I'm saying that the name of the game is 50%. 50% discount. 50% discount. That's what I want to touch your life right now. The first 30 people who are going to be in the room physically, who are ready to be transformed physically, the first 30 people that put their names right now, you will get the opportunity to be in that room. The first 30 people that you are ready, I'm giving you 50% right now. That's my choice. I want to make sure that instead it is in Abuja, at the Godly Leadership Center in Abuja, you get a certification for speaking with power and influence. I want to stretch your mind. I want to add great value to you. I want you to walk with me step by step. It's a step-by-step approach. Please, the first 30 people to put in their names right now, put your names right now, plus your number. Put your name and your telephone number right now. Put it right now. Just put your name and telephone number right now. The first 30 people. I'm going to give you the opportunity to be in the class with me. 2 days. And at the end of the day, some of you are going to write a check, extra check to say, Mr. Linus Okore, I want to give you a birthday gift because my birthday is 30th of April this month. And it's just 25th and 26th. It's a birthday gift actually that I'm giving you. And then for those who do not want to be physically in class, you can, or you have the opportunity to be physically in class, then you can have a chance of paying. The price was 200,000 naira. Now, okay, 50% discount for those of you who can be online, and they can enjoy it online. 100,000 naira can enjoy it online. But those physical, oh my God, this is an opportunity to I went to Brian Tracy. Remember, after how many years of speaking? After over 20-something years of speaking with power and influence, Brian Tracy set up a program on public speaking in California. I paid $10,000 to go and spend a couple of days with Brian Tracy in California just to improve myself, just to increase myself, just to make sure that I transform my capacity. Business class ticket I paid, accommodation. It's unbelievable. By the time I finished from that class, my mind was blown away. There is nothing as investing in the right set of things. It's mind-blowing. So who is ready? 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 Right now on the spot, those of you who are even daring, the account numbers are already displayed on the screen. So you can actually kill your space right now. Secure your space right now and make it happen. What does that mean? What it means is that the first 30 people who immediately respond to this, once we have 30, we close that. And then, of course, anybody can join online. I mean, that is fantastic. But the whole story is the fact that I have had the experience. I've had so many years of stretching in rooms where nobody even recognized me. I spent hours in the library developing my capacity. I spent so much time speaking around the world and influencing the world. And one of the things that I've noticed is that nobody goes far until that individual has been able to invest in himself or herself. Somebody the other day was telling me that, Mr. Linus Okore, how come you're charging such amount of money for people to be able to come and speak? I said to the person, the day you are ready to make a big difference for yourself, that is the day that your respect starts coming to you. The day you start to be hungry, that is the day that your growth begins. Anytime you stretch to invest in your growth will come to you. Forget it. Nobody is going to give you anything of value that you're not going to invest in. So I conclude my thought today by saying to you that what I have done today is more like quickening your hunger for public speaking. When you master public speaking, you walk into a room, the rooms will respect you. Even the room itself will respect you. The elements in that room will respect you when you open your mouth. In as far as you're concerned, you can close your mouth and don't say a word. That's the best thing that can happen to you if you have not learned how to speak with power and influence. Because the moment you open your mouth, the definition of you happens. People actually know exactly who you are. That's why the best thing you can do if you don't know the subject matter, cross your leg and be shaking your head. So people say, this man is intelligent, he's brilliant. It's the best thing for you. Don't go and open your mouth in a room where you don't understand the subject matter. Don't do that. So, in as far as I'm concerned, I ask you to go and follow me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube. You have to continually stay there. There are materials there that can help you. Free loaded materials. You can keep watching those videos and you'll see the transformation that has happened in your life. I want to give you an extra video. I want to show you an extra video. I can't wait. I can't wait to have you guys. I can't really wait to have you guys. And so my closing comment will be, thank you, each and every one of you who had time to be part of this particular meeting. And if this session has blessed you, I want you to leave a comment from your heart, to us. Leave a comment from your heart to us, and go to our Instagram pages and make the noise. The most important thing is that each and every one of you, you're part of a new generation of leaders that are emerging, that will make a big difference, and will serve the cause in life and serve this country.
No matter how shy, introverted, or timid you think you are, you can become a powerful public speaker. All you need is a desire to become that powerful speaker, and our Speaking with Power and Influence you can attract elevating business or career opportunities, win in negotiations, and convince almost anybody to do business with you. To enroll, visit the link on your screen or send a WhatsApp message to the number on your screen. Let us transform you into that irresistible speaker that can charm any audience.